Hi, boys and girls. Hi, all my loved ones. I love you all. Um, okay, it's day 4, and I'm trucking on. Uh, let's see. Today, definitely feeling paranoid. So if anybody has any advice, I reached out to my friends and stuff, but any more additional information, he found my number. So I switched my number. Still using an Android phone, set up a new email account, use different address, everything. He found me. I mean, so after I filed the TRO, I was feeling all of these things, and I know how he is, the no boundaries thing. When they served him the TRO, after I'd run into my office building and my boss started the whole process, I'd actually left. I'd left safely with my mother, and like an hour and a half later, my boss called and said that he had been blowing up the phone. He'd even tried to get me fired from my job. So after I ran away into the house, he actually called like the main line, and they said basically that it was a weird phone call that came in that was saying that I was a drug user and I was helping people out. It was all because of one stupid incident where I like helped pass like verified like a document for one of his friends for community service, and he was using that against me, even though I'd done that to help him out of respect for his best friend. Bullshit. But he had called her multiple times that day, said that he had lunch waiting for me in the car. Like, dude thought I was coming back. They ended up being able to serve him there on the spot. So the sheriffs were there. They served him. And even though I was having to I had to wrap up some stuff before I left. And I was just looking over my shoulder, like terrified that he was going to find me. And not so, I don't know. I don't know of his violent tendencies. Our relationship wasn't physically abusive. It never was. I think for the most part, I kind of pushed him and shoved him when he was trying to block my access to exit. But with the threats and blowing all the smoke that he did, I was worried what was going to happen if he ever caught me by myself. During the last 2 days that I had to be stuck there, I basically had people. My family's awesome. I had people to be there with me constantly because I was always looking over my shoulder. The anxiety was unreal. Like, people probably were in the public were looking at me like, what's wrong with this girl? And anxiety lasted all the way through the flight. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned this, but he had been contacting my family trying to get a hold of me on the day of the TRO, and my dad ended up taking one of his phone calls, and of course protective father was just like, I'm taking my daughter with me on the airplane. Us females were like, why did you do that? You told him that we're leaving. Because of that, he actually ended up showing up at the airport, and it was a sad moment for me because there were so many times he had done that where he's got the sad face and crying, and I don't know what his intentions were. I had sent him a closing email, just trying to wrap up loose ends, telling him like to move his stuff out of the house and how long he had and when I was gonna turn off the phones. Wished him luck, told him I'd pray for him and that he definitely needs some therapy. That didn't go well. He's like, well, I thought I saw you with another man last night. So he ended up showing up at the airport. Very sad day for me because I would always run back in his arms, and my mom put her foot down. I was like, dude, you need to leave. Called airport police and everything. My sweet dad is over there like waving at him. Dad, no. Because he's empathetic like me. Aloha, Hawaiian ways, just aloha spirit, yeah. A lot of people are intimidated by how open we are and how we embrace people. Um, but yeah, anyway, that freaked the shit out of me. Airport police, they were awesome. I had my nicotine before I got on the plane. They were with me. We were able to cut the line through TSA. He put me up front with my mom and just made sure that we got through those gates okay, because he couldn't get to me after that point. And still yet, I was waiting in lines, checking on the airplane, looking on the streets to see if he was still driving around. I had anxiety that he was, like he was going to catch me all the way until we touched down off of that plane. Yeah, like constant fear. So, like the 2 days had passed. I felt a little better. I was in a new place. I never told him exactly where any of my relatives live. So he has no idea of all the places where they're available and where I'm gonna be. He has no idea. But lo and behold, you're now you have to go through this process, changing addresses, changing accounts, all of this stuff. And you know how Androids work. They're all connected to Google. And it's basically like impossible. If somebody needs to disappear, how do they do that? Your phone is your lifeline. It's connected to everything now. Every account that you need, anything you need, it's accessible through your phone. But there has to be, of course, an easy way to do that. I had tried to log into the Facebook. I told you about that day where I kind of had a little bit of weakness. I don't know exactly how much of my accounts he had access to. That was a slow process for him, something that I allowed to happen, not realizing the control mechanisms, right, he was using. So I am back in here and I'm feeling anxiety again, like overwhelming. It's so scary that they have that control, that psychological, emotional grip on you. Even though I'm miles and miles away from home. And he has that fear back in my heart that he's going to find me. And my friends were very reassuring. I had my good girlfriends call me. They've been checking on me every day. They're so awesome. They're reassuring me that, that's a common feeling. You're going to be looking behind your back for a while, even though you're far away from him because of the psychological damage that they did on you. So that's a scary thing that you're going to have to deal with, looking behind your shoulder all the time. One of my good friends, she gave me advice on, like legal advice on where I can seek help as far as that. My auntie, she started calling her lawyer friends, my friends calling their lawyer friends, and just trying to help me. But if anybody has any information as far as how I can manage to disappear and him not find every single new number that I open, please let me know. I'm definitely, I think, as far as safety planning, my own research it's important to at least have like a family member where you can forward any mail or any information, banking information, put their address on there. Someone that, can either deal with them or is not afraid to deal with them. If you move places, don't use physical addresses, use P.O. boxes. So, like freaking DoorDash and all of those things, Amazon, that's all out of the picture for me. No more access to that. And if you have that TRO, I definitely have my emergency envelope on me. So wherever you go, make sure that you contact your local police department. Keep a photo of the perpetrator on you, my ex, and share it with them. Share it with your new workplaces, all of that. Like, you're going to have to do that. You're going to definitely be more alert of your surroundings. It's just something you have to do for your own safety. So I'm definitely just trying to figure out how I'm going to manage that feeling. Even now, I was just walking up the road and I heard a rustle in the leaves and I just started running. My dad is so sweet. I wasn't able to sleep last night after my ex had tried to call me from a private number like 20 times. He came out, gave me a little CBD gummy, some homeopathic remedy, so at least his daughter could sleep for one night without having any fear. CBDs were great. I bought this, so I'm gonna try this tonight. I'll let you know how it goes. It's supposed to just kind of ease your, why is it backwards? Just ease your anxiety a little bit, relieve stress, nervousness, and it's all natural remedy. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not the kind of girl who's emotionally damaged to the point where I need to be medicated. Luckily, I'm that strong. But I know for you guys, you might consider just reaching out to like your medical professionals and seeing if you can help anything with that, because that is such a hard thing to have to deal with all the time. There's got to be other ways for you to manage that. It's not fair. It's not fair that they are able to do that to us. And that's that control. You got to gain control back of your life, and it's a slow process. I'm in day 4 and I still want to call him. I wanted so bad to answer that phone, but the fear kind of took over. I so badly want to reach out to his family. I love them. I love them. I had a deep connection with a lot of them. So I hope that he's getting the support that he needs. My sister and her awesome husband, who I never had the opportunity to get to know because of my ex, he has been like, dude, I missed out on that. I think my family always wanted to get to know him and make an effort. And I guess he's been having to stay in contact with them. Well, me and my parents are here. My sister guys is like just taking the reins. Like, my sister's like, dude, I've been waiting for this moment. I'm prepared. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a house full of kids. I can do anything. Stay-at-home moms, dude. Like, no, I understand. Like, that's a hard thing to manage, and she's ready to just take that on for me. Anyway, her husband's been having to do a lot of back and forth contact with my ex, just trying to wrap up all the loose ends. That's another thing I just kind of ran and I didn't even consider. Closing accounts, like separating estates. Like, I mean, either you're just going to have to deal with the fact that you're going to have to start all over. For some of you people, you men and women, I understand. Like, you've got $100 in your pocket and that's it, and you're gone. Starting all over again. But just remember, like, it's monetary. Some of that stuff is replaceable. Some of that stuff, like when you're ready to run, keep it on you, your birth certificate, your passport, like all of those important documents, keep them close, keep copies. But yeah, wrapping up all of that loose stuff. And it's so funny, like, if your family's gonna have to if they're in that same place, they're gonna have to deal with them. So family members watching that, like, thank you in advance for having to put up with that. They're not scared of him. They're not. They're kind of going through my same stages. Anger, but empathy, seeing that he's in a horrible mental state. And same thing, they're empaths like me, so they thought they could reach out. If he's gonna reach out, maybe they can help him start on that path to helping himself. My brother-in-law reached out to us though and said, yeah, like it was like no hard feelings. I didn't try to be aggressive anyway, but wished him the best. And his response was, oh, that night when I saw you guys go to the house with Rachel, like, who was in the white truck? Huh? What? What? He's not gonna come to grips with it. He's not. He's in a total different mental state. I think they are going to find any reason to blame you for leaving the relationship. In his mind, he thought I ran out of that car because I was afraid to confess. Mind you, no cheating, right? No cheating. He made it up in his mind. And he's still trying to look for it. He's trying to look for that ammunition. And that's a scary thought. That they might never reach out for help. If they don't have family members who give a damn to tell them straight, like, dude, don't you think that you might have played a role in this whole thing? Yeah, he's not gonna reach out and ever take responsibility for the things that he did. And as story time goes along, I'll open up this conversation again and just kind of tell you exactly how much control he had in the relationship and the part that I played in that. I think in the days coming, I'm going to have that chat with you guys about facing your own demons. My auntie is awesome. I have 2 therapists in my family. How's that? But she gave me this book. She said that this is a good start. Self-compassion. Why the hell is it backwards? She said that this is a good start as far as your self-healing and learning how to be kind to yourself and facing all of those things, all of those, roles that you play. And that's the guilt that plays in. But you gotta face them at some point. So in the days coming, as I read through this, I'm gonna reassess myself, see how all of that goes. But that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling paranoid. I'm gonna try my calm mood, see if that helps me. Keep your friends, keep your family close if you've got them. Make connections, definitely. So I'm gonna do that as I move throughout this country. If I gotta keep moving, if dude's gonna find me, I don't know if he has the means to, but I'm gonna keep moving. I'm not gonna be one of those people who's gonna just keep coming in and out. I've gone this far, I'm not going back. Right? You gone this far? Don't go back. Do your best. Love y'all. Malamapono.